Hello, BookTube. We did all right the other day with a one-book mail haul, didn't we? So I thought we'll risk it and do a two-book mail haul this time, and see if we still fare fairly well. Let's see here. I think the one-book mail haul doing well was all the more impressive because it wasn't a book that I requested. I mean, to a certain extent, I have loaded the dice with these mail hauls because I request a lot of books. So it makes sense that a large percentage of the books that I open for you will be books that I knew about and that did something to attract my interest ahead of time, but not last time. Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. All right, this is one I requested. I can't wait to read it. This is Arnold van der Laar. This is Under the Knife, History of Surgery in 28 Remarkable Operations, which is it'll make for brutal reading because surgery learned by doing. But let's see here. From the story of the desperate man from 17th century Amsterdam who grimly cut a stone out of his own bladder. Case in point. To Bob Marley's deadly toe, Under the Knife offers all kinds of fascinating and unforgettable insights into medicine and history via the operating theater. What happens during an operation? How does the human body respond to being attacked by a knife, a bacterium, a cancer cell, or a bullet? And as medical advances continuously push the boundaries of what medicine can cure, what are the limits of surgery? I'm a sucker for this kind of thing, especially since I think that for the well-to-do, for the wealthy, surgery will become more and more of a radical, outside-the-fringe option. I believe that for the safety and health of everyone involved, that the more you can do for a patient without cutting them open, the better. I know that part of that is probably Star Trek, where Bones McCoy could do quite a bit without opening up a patient, but quite a bit of it is reading history. It just seems so barbaric. Look at that cover. It seems so barbaric to lay a person out on a table and cut them open in order to fix something. It seems like you could do that a lot better in other ways, in non-invasive ways. And so we'll see if I'm right, or I won't. But the younger among you will see if I'm right. But in the meantime, I've read books like this before. They are always macabrely fascinating. So we're off to a good start. That's 1 out of 2. Let's see what this next one is. Oh, it's from Oxford. What on earth? Okay. All right. This one I did not request. How utterly strange. Okay, this is by Colleen McDaniel, and it is Sister Saints, Mormon Women Since the End of Polygamy. Doesn't really, the cover really doesn't tell you anything, because Oxford often sends them without cover art. But what a subject. Let's see what we have here. So this comes out in late, I assume, November. This comes out in November. Boy, we're inching closer and closer to a 2019 book. Stereotypes of Mormon women are frequently the most dominant facet of the modern world's impression of this religion. Though polygamy has been banned in Mormon practice for more than 100 years, its shadow obscures Latter-day Saint women to this day. These fallacies are examined in the captivating Sister Saints. What fallacies? First paragraph didn't list a fallacy. Never before has a complete history of the women in the Mormon Church been presented in its entirety. From the Mormon women who received the right to vote over 50 years before women's suffrage, to women in the 21st century who live outside North America, expanding their faith on a global front. Renowned religious scholar Colleen McDaniel demonstrates that we are on the verge of an era in which women will play an authoritative role in the church. We'll see Christ coming before we see that. Well-educated, outspoken, and deeply committed to their faith, these women challenge the labels of liberal and conservative, traditional and modern. And some of the book's features include a sweeping history of modern Mormon women, the first of its kind, certainly the first one I've ever heard of. That'll be fascinating. An analysis of Mormon women around the globe, not solely in the United States. The powerful and unconventional argument that Mormon women have been critical to maintaining and transforming the Mormon faith. Author's going to have to do a lot of work to convince me of that. I'm perfectly open to being convinced, but you're going to have to work awful hard to convince me. Such a violently sexist religious sect, you're going to have to work very hard. What's the other point here, though? and a forceful rejection of the misconception that Mormon women are oppressed, submissive, or passive. Are you kidding me? You're going to reject the idea that Mormon women are submissive, are what's the word? Oppressed? That's okay. If you can do it, more power to you. I will read this with an open mind. I won't read it until the autumn. I'm very grateful to Oxford for sending it so soon, but I'm not. I know why they're sending it so soon, because the earlier you can get galley copies to an editor, the better. Because your assumption is that the editor is going to have to find someone to write about it, and the fine print of that assumption, even with places like the TLS and the London Review of Books, is that once you do find someone and they write about it, it's not going to be very good, and you're going to need to work with them on the piece in order to have it ready by the time the book appears in November. That is the standard assumption, and that's a good assumption. But when it comes to Open Letters Review, that's not that's not the case. When it comes to yours truly, that's not the case anyway, because I'm a freakishly fast reader and a freakishly fast writer. As fast a reader as I am, I'm 10 times faster as a writer. And the publishing world no longer takes creatures like me into account. Once upon a time, we were common. Now I'm pretty sure I'm one of the only ones left. So now they give editors plenty of time to find somebody who they can give this book to. But that's not the case in my case, so I'm not going to bother to read it. I will read it in the fall. In fact, probably, as you've seen on this channel, probably I will wait, and I will use the receipt of the finished copy as a kick in the pants to read the book, but then review it, which is, a positive and a negative. So who is this author who's going to upset the apple cart and say that Mormon women are empowered? She's a professor of history and a Sterling M. McMurrin Professor of Religious Studies at the University of Utah, one of the nation's foremost experts on American religious history. She has been a Guggenheim Fellow and held the Fulbright John Adams Chair in American History at Groningen University in the Netherlands. She's the author of several books, including Material Christianity and Heaven, a History. Oh, I read Heaven, a History. Okay. All right, Sister Saints, Mormon women since the end of polygamy. Incredible. All right, so you never know what you're going to get on this channel. So we have Mormon Saints, Sister Saints, and Under the Knife, a history of operations told by various gruesome operations. I'm all for it. So that's it for now. Who knows? More to come. Lots more to come. And I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.